Still no idea. 3 equal favourites at $6. Herb November Falls and Powers of Opal. Tabs a $6.50 chance. Northern Eyes just getting out of touch. $6.50 out to 7.
Here we go. Opener midway at Randwick on Concord Stakes Day.
Be the last two to get set. Hide Your Heart in the Derby jacket going forward. Tabs is just being was examined by the vet there briefly, made contact with the rail, so being led back up to the gate here. Tabs was one of the last to arrive at the start, and Tabs moves in now, and we're locked and loaded, the light on, ready to go for the first on Chelmsford Stakes Day here at Royal Randwick, the Concord Stakes as well. Gates are back, racing, and last out of the gates was California Grass and Hide Your Heart being snagged back. Northern Eyes jump sharply, together with Byron on the inside, going through to join it. Vintage Choice away well third, followed then by Cheerful Legend, who used Barrier 1 to sit in fourth. November Falls off the speed today and will park in fifth. They're followed further back to Kingston Charm. Annulus going around the field, Herb back on the fence. A length and a half into Powers of Opal, sitting on the outside of California Grass, improving. Tabs is second last, and Hide Your Heart sees them all. So Byron was able to hold the front by 3/4 to the informed Northern Eyes at the 800 metres, followed by Cheerful Legend railing to third on the inside of Vintage Choice. Then came November Falls, Annulus on a 3-wide path. They're followed after a length to Herb, position down on the rails, and the inside of Kingston Charmer. Length and a half California Grass from Powers of Opal. Tabs is peeling 3 wide, and Hide Your Heart is the last one. Byron leads around the turn now by a length and a half on Northern Eyes. Then Vintage Choice, Cheerful Legend tucked away on the rails. Further back then to Kingston Charm, peeling into the clear from November Falls, and further back to Herb running into it. Northern Eyes moves up now at the 200. Northern Eyes briefly hits the lead, but Cheerful Legend's in pursuit the outside. Northern Eyes and Cheerful Legend. Powers of Opal's flashing home. Northern Eyes and Cheerful Legend. Northern Eyes, oh, bob of the heads here. Cheerful Legend's bobbed. Northern Eyes, Cheerful Legend, leave it to the judge. Powers of Opal, a cracking run in third. Then Herb flashing home. Kingston Charm right behind them. Then came the speedy Byron from Vintage Choice. Hide Your Heart making some ground from November Falls, California Grass, Annulus, and Tabs was last to finish.
Okay, Darren's staying out of this one. We're going to have a look at Cheerful Legend and Northern Eyes. Northern Eyes in the blue colours. And in the red colours, you've got Cheerful Legend, and then we'll get to Powers of Opal, who's rocketed home. Here's the low shot. Cheerful Legend going after Northern Eyes. A bit of a lunge there from Cheerful Legend, but it came back up at the wrong time. Northern Eyes will get the head down and win. Number 4, Northern Eyes, will beat 1, Cheerful Legend, and the big eye catcher, Powers of Opal.
He's just in a winning frame of mind, isn't he? That's 4 straight, just keeps jumping the bar. He's going well, and he's done a really good job to get to this level. And Tommy got him across beautifully there and was too good. Cheerful Legend had his chance, just a bob of the head beat him. And look, she was the eye catcher right down the outside with a lot to do, the filly. She's got a nice little future and won't be a maiden there for long. Kingston Charms, that was a much better run from her as well.
A massive ownership group there with the New South Wales Tycoons in the ownership of Northern Eyes, racing in those colours, 4, 1, 15 and 13. Now here is the race time, and this will give you an even greater appreciation of what that horse Powers of Opal has done from the back. They've run 121.82. You're huffing and puffing.
I'm riding a long way then.
Well, I think this horse is something worth running after because it's in superb form.
He's a lovely horse, and when we bought him off Chris, they said he needed gelding, which we did, and we gave him a little spell. He's done super, and he's really just turned into a really lovely horse.
And you've placed him beautifully, just going, as they say, going through the grades.
Yes.
Just step the bar up each time.
Yeah, definitely, and he doesn't normally win by far, which you saw again today. Yeah. He likes to give you a bit of a heart attack, but he just keeps giving, which is great. He's just, today was a very good effort, I thought.
I can imagine you'll find a very similar race not too far away either.
No, for sure. He will look again, because he's coping so well. Yeah. Holding his condition well, and he's really happy.
Great work, Kim.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Tommy. That was a good little win.
Yeah, it was. He's a lovely horse. He's been prepared very well from the stable, and
the position I was in, I was really able to control the tempo of the race, and we got a couple of cheap sectionals, and Jay just picked it up before the corner. But he's one of them horses. He doesn't want to win by too far, but as soon as Benny came at me on the second horse, he was never going to get beat at the same time.
How's that track?
I just said to Steve Ralton, man, this track today, if you don't like it, you're hard to please. It's got a lovely bit of juice in it. It's probably the best track I've ridden on in the last 12 months.
Well done.
Cheers.
Particularly when she gets out behind the barriers, but she's off the pony now and she's walking around beautifully there with James McDonald, so no faulting her at all in the way that she's come across. She's had 2 jump outs at home. She's only a lightly framed mare, so obviously the work has been put into her at home, and she's here to put on a show today. And you can see actually, even although that she's grey, that she does have that glow to her coat. So Martini Mama has come across well, as has Spring Lee. She's nice and relaxed out here today. I actually missed her that day that she was vetted behind the barriers, so interested to see that she's come across well, as has Lost. She's been a notable improver. She was a little bit woolly first up, but she's come on well, so she gets the tick as well. But Martini Mama looks fantastic.
Okay, Tim, last of the moving up. Is there any more money for her?
Yeah, no change. We're continuing to see good support for her, so no change, $2.50, but the money's continued for Confess Our Dreams, now into second favourite, $4.20, so good firm late for Confess Our Dreams.
And it displaces Spring Lee for second favouritism. Martini Mama runs favourite. Here's the second, Darren Flindell.
Ready to go. And they're racing, and the favourite Martini Mama about midfield out of the gates. Confess Our Dreams flew out and is going to lead from Spring Lee, then Time Bandit. Martini Mama moving up on the outside of Lost, then came Cavallo Ramponte, and Bindy's Choice a drop back to last. Easy lead for Confess Our Dreams at the 800 by a length and a half on Spring Lee. Time Bandit third, and the favourite very well positioned Martini Mama 2 lengths away to Lost. She wants to play up again a bit today, not as bad as last time though. Then came Cavallo Ramponte, and Bindy's Choice sees them all. Confess Our Dreams coming around the corner in front from Spring Lee, then Time Bandit. Martini Mama peeling wide, and then came Lost as they come up the rise. Confess Our Dreams felt for from Spring Lee. Martini Mama goes full bore on the outside, and Lost is coming to the outside. Confess Our Dreams at the 200 in a fight here with Spring Lee. Forget Mama, she can't go on. It's Confess Our Dreams and Spring Lee knuckling out a great finish. Spring Lee going to Confess Our Dreams, and Spring Lee ahead to Confess Our Dreams. Photo third, a gap back to Martini Mama and Cavallo Ramponte. Then Bindy's Choice running on. Time Bandit dropped out and Lost. She's losing the plot these days. Too keen in the run and finished last.
See, they were flying there in that race. I'll read you some of the sections in a moment. 62.47 the overall time. Spring Lee's got them. Number 3, Spring Lee beats number 6, Confess Our Dream, and the tab's got the lot. The bookies have got the lot. Martini Mama back in third spot because the other worst result was the second horse. And they left Ronnie's tip all alone. Spring Lee, a drifter, but gets the money.
She was just too fit for him. That's all it was. She was just too fit with recent racing on her side. And that was her race, as simple as that. She's run really boldly, the leader there. She's come up well. Martini Mama, it's pretty hard to find an excuse for her, although they did sizzle home, but still didn't run to market expectations. You're right, the tab got the lot, so we can look forward to good prices all day now. They're playing with ours.
They, from a standing start, the first 100 in 7.93. Now listen to these. This is the last 1,000. 10.9, 10.96, 11.1, and then we got a 10.4, good buddy. We got a 10.49 and 11.09. Well done, Luke Hilton joining me from the Bjorn Baker stable. Everything just worked out perfectly for her today.
Yeah, it was great. I think back to the 1100 was a big key with her. She was fresh early, but Rach got into a great spot. Didn't seem to go over quick, but she dropped ahead eventually, and then I thought she was really tough and strong late. So good to see her bounce back after the last start.
And you think you'll just concentrate on 1100, seeing she looks to be a specialist at it?
Definitely, yeah. I think that's a key. Bjorn even said after the last start, maybe even back to 1,000 wouldn't be against her because she does want to over-race a touch. So we'll definitely keep her short and maybe try and fresh her a bit.
Good fight. Thought the other filly had her.
Yeah, halfway down the straight, I wasn't real confident she was going to get there, and then she really started to power late. So really pleased for the owners and glad to see her bounce back today.
Well done.
Thanks.
Congratulations, Rachel. Took a little bit of time to get there, but she knuckled down late.
She did, yeah. Look, she's a big mare and she just takes that little bit of time to balance up. But the 1100 here is probably her real sweet spot.
You're running some quick sectionals. Did it feel it?
Yeah, she was pretty strong as well. I wouldn't have wanted to go much slower, but that's her. Look, she's got a big stride and she's got to be allowed to use it. And today she finally drew a gait where I could let her flow a little bit more and didn't have to sort of drag her out of her comfort zone, and that really helps her.
Well done.
More settled, not getting as warm, so that's a tick for him. And then Melody again, I know she's unwanted in the bedding, but she's a lot more relaxed as well. Scotty's had his issues with her trying to figure out what works. She's a tricky mare, but I'd say she's more settled today than when I saw her last time. Nothing really else to report otherwise. A couple left.
Al, I'm going to send Shani over with a big dose of vitamin C.
I think I might need that today, Greg.
Keep going. Here's Listomania coming up, and we're just about set for the highway. Race 3, 1200. Here's Darren.
Under such a big weight, there's the light, and we're ready to go. Moving in the stalls, the gates are back now, and they're off and racing, and Zenti left the gates quite well with Lang Park wide out, and Tai Lung bursting on the scene as well, along with Field of Myrtle put right in the thick of the action from Champa's Girl. So Lang Park goes back, Soho Sushi improves, so does East Harlem right up the inside. Caribbean King over racing midfield. They're followed by Atmospheric Rock down on the fence. Melody again wide out without cover on the outside of Sir Freddie, and a gap back in the field to Liz Mania is third last from Sonic Tycoon, and Point Bass is right out the back. So Tai Lung takes the front now narrowly from Zeddy, and Field of Myrtle just third on the outside of East Harlem. Then Champa's Girl, Soho Sushi being revved up. Then Caribbean King, Lang Park as they straighten up. Atmospheric Rock is well back on the inside and will need some luck. Coming up the rise, and Tai Lung takes the lead now. Tai Lung by 2 lengths on Field of Myrtle. Then came East Harlem. They beat off Zeddy. Melody again winding up with a big run on the outside, and Liz Mania 3 lengths away. Melody again moved up now, and Melody again going through the gears is revving away, and that's a big win. Lustomania second, Atmospheric Rock snatched third right on the line there from Tai Lung. Then Caribbean King, East Harlem, Point Bass making up a stack of ground. Further back to Sonic Tycoon from Zeddy, Soho Sushi, Sir Freddie, then Lang Park, Field of Myrtle weekend right out, and so did Champa's Girl.
Big finish by Melody again. Going to the line for Christian Reith, a Saturday winner for a jockey who now bases himself in the bush. He had time to take it all in and ease up on Melody again, right to the line. Liz Mania second, Atmospheric Rock, another great one with another big weight.
Well, best form in the race, and they give you $10. Just because of a barrier. She's got an enormous sprint on her, and all those thinking and gear changes have really worked with her now. Liz Mania, what are we going to do with him? He keeps running these bold races, and he's put 2 together now, Atmospheric Rock, and run well, but a class above with the best form, and you got a dividend there if you trusted Christian to do the right thing, and he did.
Yeah, another terrific ride by the head Christian Reith when he gets the opportunities in town, which isn't often, but he makes the most of it when he does get the opportunities. That was just a super ride. Well done.
They've run 1:8.91, the highway. That'd be one of the quickest highways ever. 1:8.91. What is it? Nick's Vendetta ran a 1:8.4 in a highway.
Well done, Reithy. Everything went to plan.
Yeah, look, I wasn't worried about the gate. It's probably a blessing that she drew out because she doesn't begin well, but we're just able to let her stride and let her be comfortable, and everything worked out from the 600, and it's just about getting that there at the right time and let her sprint away from her.
She's one of those horses, she just seems to keep improving that little bit every time she comes through.
Yeah, look, she's pretty temperamental, as her career shows, but if you can get her in the right frame of mind in the run, she'll respond like that for you.
Well done, bud.
Thank you.
Canberra Legend, I think, has been a big improver. I think I had him on top last time as well, but he's just come on that little bit more, staying nice and relaxed today. He's a big flashy type of galloper, so interested to see what he can do here with cover. He's come across in really lovely order. Redstone well. I think I put the mock on him last start when I said he'd come across and was beautifully settled, because then he went into the barriers and didn't really do anything wrong. He just got his leg up and was scratched. He's since been back to the trials. He's pretty keen to get on with things today. He's probably a bit more forward than what I expected him to be out here. Changing of the guard has settled nicely. So in the yard as I was leaving, he was getting up on the toe and getting a touch warm, so he was always going to be a bit of a watch, and he has got a little bit warm down the neck, but nothing too much to worry me. He's obviously just a high energy horse, and he's got that good strong substance about him as well, so he is a little bit up on the toe, but nothing that's concerning me.
Good on you, Al. Thank you. Let's go up to Darren Flindell for the City Tats Cup.
Running of the Sydney City Lexus City Tattersalls Club Cup. Isn't that a mouthful? Here we go. Gates are back. They're off and racing. Redstone Well won the start. Landed about a length in front, but Sir Lucan quickly strides up on the outside. Changing of the guard is handy. And so's Thinkin' Flyers pushing through on the inside. Strathtay racing a little bit handier today. He's got 3 behind him. Canberra Legend is being ridden cold. On the outside, a Raging Bull. And Tapple Doodle Doos last of all. So Craig Williams kicking up on the inside here on Thinkin' Fly. So Redstone Well just has to do a little bit more work. And now Redstone Well will go forward, and Tommy Sherry's been able to find the rails, led by a length. So Lucan strides to second, and Thinkin' Fly will get an economical run. The third leader's back. Changing of the guard, well positioned fourth, 1 out, 1 back, having his second Australian start, and right up to his right trip today. Changing of the guard, a length and a half Raging Bull on the inside of the favourite Strathtay, Tapple Doodle Doo, and Canberra Legend are the last 2, and Canberra Legend being ridden a lot quieter today. So they work to the back of the course now, approaching the 1400 metres, and Redstone Well strides 2.5 clear. So Lucan under restraint in second position. Thinkin' Fly still third. The rails a length off to Changing of the guard. A length and a half then Raging Bull. On the inside of Strathtay, Tapple Doodle Doo, and Canberra Legend right on the heels there of the favourite is last of all. So Redstone Well running along at a decent enough speed here in the hands of Tommy Sherry. Leads by 2 lengths on Sir Lucan, who's being patiently ridden by Hieronymus. Then Thinkin' Fly, a half the outside to Changing of the guard. So McDonald's done his job, giving it every possible hope. 2 further back to Raging Bull, a half then to Strathtay. Canberra Legend and Tapple Doodle Doo are the last 2. No change to the order, and they've got 800 metres to run. Redstone Well held together. A neat length here on Sir Lucan. Then Thinkin' Fly, Changing of the guard. Strathtay right behind on the outside of Raging Bull. Then came Canberra Legend on the outside of Tapple Doodle Doo. Coming to the home corner now, Redstone Well and narrow leader. The stick being pulled on Sir Lucan. Changing of the guard gets cracking, and Strathtay 2 lengths behind, pulling to the outside into the straight now, and Redstone Well going well, beat off Sir Lucan. Changing of the guard grinding away, Strathtay grinding away, then Thinkin' Fly. Redstone Well's going exceptionally well inside the 200 metres and has kicked away. Oh, this is set for a dominant win today. Redstone Well draws away to win it by 5. Thinkin' Fly's run a clear second. Strathtay third. Changing of the guard fourth. Then Sir Lucan, Tapple Doodle Doo, Raging Bull, Canberra Legend. Oh.
Yeah, he bounced back all right, Redstone Well. He was a late scratching here when he got his leg up on the 24th of August. He had to trial, he did that. And he has dictated terms to suit himself, Tommy Sherry, for Annabelle and Rob Archibald. Redstone Well will win and beat Think and Fly has run second, and Strathtay third as Tommy Sherry has a look at the big board.
Yeah, a gift. Queries are running 1.5 miles. He'll run 2 miles if you leave him alone like that, and he gets into a rhythm. Absolutely toyed with him in an on-pace race. The Melbourne horses run well, Think and Fly, and the 2 favourites, disappointing, both in the right spot at the right time, but just completely out-sprinted there.
Yeah, I thought it was a terrific ride by Tommy Sherry. I totally agree with you, Ronnie. The first half of the race, like going out of the post first time when he ambled across, he won the race from the winning post back around to about the mile when he did start to get a little bit, put the horse into the race, but the damage had already been done.
4, 8, 6 and 1. They've run 2:29.44, and at the end of the mile and a half, he's dashed home in 34.18. Well done. You got your wish. They left you alone.
Yeah, they did. It panned out really well, actually. It was an easier watch than the last time we tried him over the 2400. He was very keen that day, but I think he's now just getting acclimatised. He's getting used to the way we race here, and to be fair to Tom Sherry, he's got down to 53 to ride him today, and he gave him a peach. He rated him really well, and it just panned out perfectly.
And he ran home in 34 and just a little bit of change, which is pretty quick for a stayer. He dashed away.
Yeah, I thought they looked like they went a reasonably sedate tempo to the eye early, and then he just built from the 1,000. He looked like he started to build, so it was a pretty dominant win, and nice to tick. I was unsure whether he'd see out the 2400, but Robin Hartney, who does a lot of our form, she gave me a big push to come today rather than yesterday. I was leaning towards the Wyong Cup, but she was adamant we came today. So it was a race we were going to use to see whether he saw out the trip, and yeah, he certainly did today.
We'll give Robin a rise. Well done.
Thank you.
Well done, Tommy. Is it fair to say that you won that race in the first 5 furlongs?
Yeah. Look, credit to the horse. He took me for a spin around there. I was a little bit concerned about the 2400 because he does travel the touch too well, but I knew it sort of turned into the straight the way he quickened. I thought, geez, there's going to be something good to beat me. So he quit himself quite nicely today. He obviously took the 2400 metre box, and yeah, as I said, I enjoyed it. He gave me a spin.
About getting down to that weight, how'd you go?
We're athletes, Corey, you know what we do.
Well done, bud.
Cheers.
Him. If it was any other horse, you'd be concerned, but this is just what we're used to now with Roma Avenue floating, cantered past beautifully. He looked as though he was doing just that, absolutely floating across the ground under Jason Collett there. He came over really well. I thought Juniper was another one who presents in great order. I didn't get to see Juniper last start there at Hawkesbury, but he presents in lovely order, and again, he's really nice and laid back. In fact, Dylan Gibbons said to me, I think I'm going to take your camera out in a minute. He was coming over to have a good look, so otherwise all well here.
We've got a great period of time coming up here at Royal Randwick following this race. That's when the features start, the Furious, the Concord, the Chelmsford and the Tramway. 4 feature races all in a row here on this big day of racing at Royal Randwick as it becomes quite overcast, very overcast. Sun has disappeared but no rain, there's nothing on the radar. We're just going to be covered in clouds for the remainder of the afternoon. Here's Darren for the 5th.
Ready to go. Race 5 over the mile. They're off and racing. Peshmerga left well together with Major Bill, who's revved up out of the gate. So Major Bill will race to the lead from Peshmerga. Zayrek jumped into 3rd spot with Roma Avenue railing through underneath it, and Floating just took a sit behind them. A couple off to Galeron, who parks on the inside of Almania, and Juniper has been taken back to the rear of the field. So Major Bill is the front runner from Peshmerga striding to 2nd. Roma Avenue under restraints, firing up right behind, getting the head right up in the air here. Roma Avenue at the moment looks like a pelican waiting for a pilchard. Half the outside is Zayrek, 3 further back to Floating in the running line. On the outside of Galeron, then came Almania, and back last of all is Juniper. So Major Bill in front by a half length to Peshmerga. Now Roma Avenue's dropped his head a bit in 3rd spot, but still over racing. Zayrek under his big weight, 1 out 1 back. Then came Galeron on the inside of Floating, and the last 2, there's Juniper on the inside of Almania. So they go to the 600 metres, and it's Major Bill in front by a half here on Peshmerga. Then came Roma Avenue from Zayrek, just peeling 3 wide now, and Floating gets onto its back even wider. Into the straight, Major Bill in front. Roma Avenue gets the gap, and Zayrek under his big weight has given the cue. Major Bill just in front from Zayrek, Floating the outside. Roma Avenue between them, and now Galeron's getting a split. Roma Avenue hit a narrow lead. Galeron is the pursuer. Major Bill keeps fighting on the inside. What a finish here. Major Bill, Roma Avenue, Galeron. Major Bill off the canvas. Major Bill kicked and won. Beat Galeron and Roma Avenue. Then came Juniper. Further back to Floating, Zayrek couldn't run on onto the weight. Then came Almania, and Peshmerga dropped out.
Well, he's won one of the most famous races here on this race course, an Australian Derby. He did that as a 3-year-old back in 2023 on the 1st of April, 524 days ago. He hasn't won since. And today he wins first up over a mile. He wouldn't give in. He just kept fighting on the fence there, Major Bill, and there were plenty of challenges. They all came at him. Roma Avenue, Galeron, Zayrek, and he'll hold on and score by a long neck. Galeron will be 2nd, Roma Avenue will be 3rd.
Yeah, it looked a messy race on paper, and that's how it turned out. It was a bit of a bunch finish at the end there, but he just kept kicking. No real support for him today, but he didn't know that, and he was too good. Galeron, well, the ride deserved a better fate. He was perfectly ridden by McDonald and presented at the right time, but just had a little think about things late there. I thought Roma Avenue was good, considering he overdid things as he can do early in that race. But a bit of a bunch finish moving forward. I don't know how to read the race, but a good, tough win with a big weight there.
Another terrific ride there by Timmy Clark. Another terrific front-running ride there by Timmy Clark. He was too good. I looked at the horse in the enclosure and I thought he might need one more run. He's not quite there yet in the coats. There's plenty of upside to him, but a good, tough win.
They've run 134.63. 134.63, 34.18 the last 600. And he scored by a half neck. 3.47 and 5. 3.475. Adrian, he's the type of horse who seems like he's been around forever, Major Bill, but he was the horse that gave your first derby.
Yeah, we've had some fantastic memories with him, no doubt. Not quite sure how to place him or profile him at the moment. You know, obviously, it's good to see him back here, resume over the mile and show good sort of tactical speed. That was a tough effort the way he had to fight on, and I thought he showed plenty of sprint there late. You know, I always sort of thought maybe that sort of mile to 2,000 metres. I know he got away with the derby, and we stretched him out last trip, but I'm not sure how far we'll go this preparation. We'll just play what's in front of us going forward, but most importantly, he's back in good shape.
That's the promising thing, to see him fight today and want to win.
Yeah, exactly. The way he started to quicken just before the turn underneath Tim, I was filled with a lot of confidence then, and I thought, you know, even if he got run down late, would have been very satisfied with the way he'd come back. But for him to keep finding the way he did with the weight, and sort of, as I said, first up at this trip, yeah, I think that shows plenty of merit, plenty of promise going forward.
Well done.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Clarkie. Good, tough effort. Looking at him in the enclosure, I thought he might need one more.
Yeah, look, he obviously derby winner at 3. He sort of went a bit missing on us his 4-year-old career, which I guess they can do. It's a hard transition, but been really pleased with how he's come back and his work. He's filled out a little bit more, and he's always had good desire, and he needed that late then.
Does he feel like he's got more upside?
Look, I think you obviously when he gets out over a little bit further, good to see him on top of the ground as well. And to be fair, first up 60 kilos, it was a really courageous effort from him. So really well placed by Gay and Adrian, and good to see him back in the winner's storm.
Well done.
Thanks.
They're about to load up. Final check on the market with Tim Ryan.
Yeah, very little change here late in betting. We're just still seeing that continued support for Manal. She's still a $2.20 favourite, $4.60 about your second pick, Amina. But just recapping the firms today, Elmore Zillow, $9.50 into $7.50, and Two Done Lizzie, 12 into 11. They're the best backed at longer odds, but the favourite really well backed.
At the 1,200, the Everest starting point, the barriers will move forward 200 metres to the 1,000 after this for the Concord Stakes. The return of Giga Kick, Private Eye, Bella Nipotina. But what about this race for the fillies, the second leg of the Princess Series? 1,200 metres, Group 2. Here's Darren Flindell.
Result on Amina from the Silver Shadow Stakes. Shashisha, the winner of Only Starter Warwick Farm, going in the green jacket, and we're locked and loaded and ready to run. Set here in the Furious Stakes. Stutterdale, Jeff's about to release the field. Gates are back now, they're off and racing. Photographics left well from the wide draw. Two Done Lizzie showing great acceleration. Winning Proposals there, followed by Manal, who sits on the outside, has to go back a little bit with Trafalgar Square improving together with Lazura. Then Zaitung plonked down on the rails. Manal trying to drop in for cover. A length and a half to more territories from Amina. Elmore Zillow and Shashisha is the last one. Two Done Lizzie in front by Nectar Photographics. Winning Proposal right behind them in third. A gap of 2.5 then to Lazura on the inside of Trafalgar Square. Then came Zaitung on the inside of the favourite Manal. Then more territories locked up on the fence. Amina pulling wider out now from Elmore Zillow, and Shashisha sees them all. Two Done Lizzie straightens in front from Photographics. Winning Proposal. Then came Lazura. Trafalgar Square. Manal starting to wind up. Zaitung's going back to the inside. Will need a bit of luck. They're right across the track. Manal's coming down the middle of the course, and Amina with a big run. Winning Proposal coming off the fence, but it's Manal in the centre. Manal got to the front from Lazura. Zaitung, Amina late. Manal just in front, and Manal at the set weights. Manal flipped the result, and Amina to win it narrowly. Not sure about third. Zaitung there with Lazura. Then Winning Proposal, Two Done Lizzie, and Elmore Zillow flashing home with more territories. Further back, Trafalgar Square, Shashisha, and Photographics.
The Friedman brothers and young Sam fighting it out again. Last time it went Anthony and Sam's way. Today it goes Michael's way. Manal, the size produce winner. The filly has bounced back. Different weights today. It was all set weights. They carried the same. A 3 kilo turnaround on Amina has paid dividends for Manal. And she needed every bit of those 3 kilos with the other filly getting so close. So Emirates Park, they race both Manal and Amina. Different colours, but it's the same stud. And it's the Friedman brothers again with 2 daughters of Tissot.
Yeah, they're sharing the love. The only people happily, Emirates Park, 1 each, 1 all. What happens next time? And a similar setup. Manal sort of got across. Amina found her back and peeled off it at the right time. But this time, with that weight swing, there's nothing between these 2 fillies. And the pack aren't far behind them, put it that way. But they both... it's like I say, it's 1 all now. The market got it right. She scrapes in, and Lazura's run a nice race there first up. Didn't have much luck there, the Queenslander, El Mazzillo, getting back after a slow start. But all honours with the winner. She's got a little bit of desire about her.
Yeah, couldn't agree more, Ronnie. It was pretty much the same as last time they met, but obviously the weight swing made the difference today. They sat off each other. Yeah, it was a terrific ride by Jason Collett. I love when he rides like that. He gets back and he stalks, and he's just a terrific rider. Well balanced, well done.
It's a race record. Dame Giselle set the record in 2020 in this race, running 1:8.83. They've run 1:08.68 today and home in 33.61. 33.61. I wonder what they can dish up in the next in the Concord over that 1,000 metres, because we've got the right horses here in town to do it. Eduardo's got the record at 55.2. Whether they can get to that, we'll find out when we return to Randwick. 3:20, the Concord Stakes will be back when runners are in the yard.
Obviously back to set weights today, so I gave her a nice hit out on Tuesday on the grass, and I knew the fitness was right, and got into her late.
She looked a different horse in the enclosure today. She looked like she really come on.
She is, yeah. She still gets a bit antsy going out on the track, but then she goes to the start like a lamb, so it's a complete contrast. But she was in the gates first. She handled that well enough. Barry Tino did a really good job, my lad, and thankful for that, because she was cleanly away and able to get into a good spot.
Well done.
Thanks.
Well done, Michael Friedman. You've been able to turn the tables on brother Anthony.
Geez, that feels good.
Well, it felt good for him last time.
Yeah, exactly.
I bet he told you all about that.
Yeah, he did.
How was dinner that night?
Well, he went out and celebrated. I went home and kicked the cat. So
it'll be different tonight.
Yeah, no, it was. Look, it's good. He can stay for a few more nights now.
Well, she's back on top.
Yeah, look, it's a big relief as much as anything, because you always like to see those 2-year-olds that have had a good 2-year-old season come back and do it at 3. And I certainly wasn't disappointed with her run the other day. She was just a bit above herself in the parade beforehand, and she was much, much better today. So, yeah. And look, the 3 kilo pull in the weights made all the difference, and I think they're a fairly even bunch of fillies, so it sort of makes for an exciting T-Rose.
And she's won at 1400. She's a Group 1 winner at 14.
Yeah, I think, if anything, her best performance so far has been at 14. So, I'm looking forward to getting up to that trip next start.
Emirates Park are happy. They've got 2 good ones.
And the stallion couldn't be going any better. Yeah. I mean, he's just flying to sort. So full credit to them, though. They gave him a lot of support with a lot of good mares in his first year, and they're reaping the rewards.
Well done.
Thank you, mate.
Light is on, and we're ready to run. Stand by for action. The gates are back, they're off, and Way to the Stars flew out as usual, and Way to the Stars will lead. Red card send forward from the outside. I Me positions up well together with Le Melody going forward. Then Remark, Giga Kick midfield. Further back to Bella Nipotina. Private Eye losing ground a little bit there with Dragonstone the outside. Further back to Half Cap'n, third last. From Bandy's Boy and Moravia is the last one. Way to the Stars, a narrow leader from Red Card, then Le Melody. I Me gets a great run right behind them. Bella Nipotina on her back. Then came Remark, who got close to heels. Giga Kick up on the outside as they straighten for the run home now. Way to the Stars, a narrow leader. Red Card a length away, stoked up. 2 after YME. Then came Giga Kick. Dragonstone running on the outside of Private Eye. Way to the Stars, still a good leader at the 150, but IME's coming off the fence with a big run, and here's Bella Nipotina. IME, Bella Nipotina, IME a neck on the line to Bella Nipotina, and they broke clear of the rest of the field. Way to the Stars Stars held on for third. Then Giga Kick, Private Eye, Aft Cabin, Bandage Boy, Moravia. Further back, Red Cardi got tired from Dragonstone, La Melody, and Remarks finished last.
It's a Kieran Mark, Quinella in the Concord. I Am Me and Bella Nipotina have run 1-2. Way to the Stars has run third. No Giga Kick today. I Am Me, Kieran Marr and Nash Rawilla have defeated Bella Nipotina. Craig Williams, Way to the Stars, gave an awful lot of cheek. Back in third spot. Nash won this race on Eduardo. And now he finds himself with another high-class sprinter in I Am Me. Now, they've broken 56. They haven't got to Eduardo's track record, but they've run 55.97. Guitra ran 55.81. 55.97. Now, let me just double-check this 600. 32.5 from leader to winner. So, Way to the Stars went past the beam in front. I Am Me's broken the beam at the finish, and that last 600 in 32.5.
Well, barriers 1 and 2, stablemates. Market got it completely right. The two they wanted, 480 at the finish, the winner, and 440 the second horse. So they were very heavily backed, and they dominated, didn't they? Way to the Stars has run the race of his life, the 1,000-metre specialist, and he set up the time. And we'll have to just revise. Private Eye did himself no harm there, charging into fourth position. And look, Giga Kick wide, no cover, and still battled at the finish. He's just not a 1,000-metre horse, lacking that little bit of match practice. I wouldn't mark him down too far on that. But boy, oh boy, a very, very impressive winner. She's just so sharp, this filly or mare.
Super impressive, super impressive. Great win, great ride by Nash Rawilla. Just sat back behind the leaders, let them do all the work. Just stalked late, got a gap with about 200 to go, and what a burst of speed this horse has.
Well done, Joe. I Am Me, she's come a long way.
She has come a long way, but she's improved every prep. Obviously, last prep in those Group 1s, you always find one too good, but she's come back very well. She's been spending some time at Bong Bong. We've got some very good tracks there. It's very relaxed, and it's probably just what she needed. The team there, Ash, Matt, looking after the track, done a very good job. And yeah, obviously she loves those conditions, those fast tracks. She's got a very good record. First up, gate helped. It was a very good ride from Nash. And yeah, great to get another win for Dynamic. Obviously they had a lot of fun with that horse. And it's been a plan to target the Sprint Series with her, this prep. And that was a race we had in mind from the get-go, and everything worked out well. Took her to Goulburn to give her a bit of confidence in the trial. That was the reason. And she obviously enjoyed that, got her confidence back, and everything worked out well today.
Here she is winning over 1,000. She's great at 1,200. She's very good at 1,400. I mean, she's Group 1 place.
Yeah, she has raced very well at 14 also. And the thing about her, I think she's come back more mature again.
Yep.
Usually in the mounting yard, when a jockey gets on, she gets a bit hot. When today she was just relaxed the whole time. She's just real mature mare now, and yeah, she had the right conditions today.
And Bella Nipotina, she just can't possibly let you down. Every time she goes to the races, she does something.
She's just unbelievable. She loves racing. Probably didn't have the best conditions for her today. We know she does like those tracks with touch of give. 1,000 meters, obviously as short as she wants. The way the track's been playing, it was always going to be hard for her, but yeah, she just can't run a bad race. I think she's still improving, and I would have a lot of fun with them.
Sure, well done.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Nas. What a turn of foot when you got it clear running.
Yeah, it's amazing, wasn't she? I was surprised because I really dove through that gap, came off Way to the Stars back, and as soon as I produced her, I thought, I'm in trouble, because you could, obviously Bella Nipotina was coming us pretty quick at that point, and I thought she'd out-tough me, but I love the character of my horse. She picked up and really just wasn't going to lay down.
What about the speed early in the race? Was it not as frantic as what you thought it would be?
Look, Way to the Stars has been more relaxed this prep, which we've been trying to sort of get him to do. He's a horse with a genuine cruising speed, which we like to use to his advantage, but he's actually settling better now. So I've got no doubt if when I rode him last time, if it was 1,000, he wins on the bridle, you know, and I've always sort of felt, you know, that he could do what he just did then in a good race like this. So, look, you know, they're two, especially the one I've just rode, she's one that's really put the writing on the wall for a big race this year.
Well done, mate.
Thank you.
Set to go. And they're racing, and Hinge jumped well off the inside. So to the favourite Zardozi. Just Fine showing plenty of muster, and Buckaroo being sent forward together with Poptronic. They're followed behind the speed to Adelaide River, Nonconformist, Military Mission, Francesco Guardi, and Athabascan's been taken back to last. Just Fine revved up, going forward wide out, and it's Just Fine and Buckaroo vying for the early lead, and the import Poptronic races up on the outside of Hinged. Two further back to Nonconformist. Zardozi jumped well, but McDonald was happy to just sit back midfield and get some cover. 2 lengths further back then to Adelaide River, in advance of Military Mission, Francesco Guardi, and 2 off to Athabascan. Just Fine controls the speed of the race now at the 800 metres by a neat length on Buckaroo. 2.5 further back to Poptronic, racing on the outside of Hinged. A length end of the favourite, Zardozi, given every hope on the outside of Nonconformist. 2 off to Adelaide River from Military Mission, Francesco Guardi, and Athabascan's last of all. Inside the 550, Just Fine still rolling from Buckaroo. Now Hinged is coming away from the rails, giving chase, revved up. Couple further back to Zardozi, has got plenty of work to do as they come up the rise, and Buckaroo now heads off Just Fine with Hinge chasing hard. Zardozi as well. Further back to Nonconformist and Adelaide River getting to the outside, but Buckaroo's going well. Buckaroo at the 150, a length and a half to Hinge. Just Fine. Buckaroo in front of Hinge. It's Buckaroo trying to cling on from Hinge. She'll make one last lunge. Photo finish here. Buckaroo trying to cling on from Hinge. We'll leave it to the judge there. Camera third, Adelaide River and Nonconformist. Zardozi didn't finish off. Then came Athabascan, Francesco Guardi, Just Fine. Then Poptronic and Military Mission.
Well, has Hinged won her first race in 923 days, or has Buckaroo won his first race in Australia? Chris Waller will win it. Little Hinged hasn't won since she was victorious in a Group 1 here at Randwick in the Surround Stakes. Coming after Buckaroo. Here's the line. Buckaroo's got the nose down. Hinged tried to draw level. Couldn't do it. Buckaroo wins. Buckaroo, the 6-year-old who won a Heritage Stakes at Leopardstown in April 2023, wins his first Australian race. Ronnie, Chris Waller's got all these weight for age stars. He's got to send them in different directions, and he picked the right ones for the Chelmsford today.
Yeah, there was always going to be a good win in him, and he's got one up early in his preparation. He didn't know what hit him when he got to dig out the barriers for the first time in his life today, and he really reacted, maybe overdid it for a stride or two, but he pulls out plenty. He got the bob right on the line. She had him one stride before the post, but that's the story of her life, Hinge. She was just nudged out again here. Nonconformist has run a ripper first up. Much better from Adelaide River for further is concerned. Disappointing the favourite, wasn't she? I thought she was in a beautiful spot and ready to pounce, and that was disappointing from her. Athabascan, good late. I think we'll have to dissect this race, but there's a couple of good runs behind, but he took ownership of the race, and that was a winning move for Buckaroo.
He did, Ronnie, and as I pointed out in the enclosure, he looked like he took good benefit from that run first up, and I reckon he's got a little bit more improvement left in him as well. So it was a great ride by Tommy Berry. Bounced really well, sat up outside lead, and controlled the race as well done.
Okay, Corey, we're waiting for the steward to come down, so we might have a chat to Tommy Berry while we're waiting. This is Tommy Berry's first Chelmsford win.
Congratulations, Tommy. Nice.
Yeah, that was really good. He's always been one since he got here. He's a little bit colty out the back and has been slow away, but today obviously he's been girl to this prep. It's really made a statement with him, and Chris just said, look, if you can get him to jump today, put him into the race and let him know it's game on, and he was brilliant today, so he really deserved that win.
What were your thoughts on the line?
I thought I just got him, but I'm a bad judge. So especially when you got Nash breathing down your neck, he throws them over the line, and anyway, it's bittersweet. I was very happy with that.
Well done, mate.
Cheers, thanks.
All right, we'll wait for Chris Waller. He wins his 7th Chelmsford here today. That horse Buckaroo joins Mr. Seawolf in 2020, Unforgotten in 2018, the Mighty Winks in 2017. Hawkesbury won it twice, and his first win in this race was with Dan Lee. And Buckaroo beats Hinge. They've run 1:33.76 for the mile. They've been running fast all day. 34.64 the last 600. 1:9, 3 and 4 are the numbers across the line. And here comes Chris Waller now. Congratulations, 7 Chelmsford Stakes. You've got so many weight for age quality horses. You've got to find a path for all of them. And luckily you picked the right 2 for this one.
Yeah, we did. It's the real top liners are at home, but these horses deserve their time in the sun. And there's some good prize money on offer in the next few weeks, and they won't have to clash with the better horses. I think the Hill Stakes, Craven Plates, they're $1 million races, and that's where first and second will be running. That's where they're heading.
Well done to Buckaroo today.
My word. He's been gilded since last preparation. His first up run was good, and his work's been good, and Tommy had the initiative just to be a bit further forward today with the way the track's racing, which is how he used to race in the UK and Ireland. So yeah, it's a good reward for a tough old horse.
2,000 next?
Probably, yeah. I think there's an 1,800 metre race
in between. Yeah. And Hinged. She's so close.
Yeah, she was close. She doesn't know she got beat, so we'll let her think that she won today. We'll give her all pats and cuddles, and yeah, she's racing well. It was another stride. She probably had it.
Well done.
Thank you.
To go on the Icon Tramway Stakes. Stand by for a start. Amelia's Jewel, now trained in Sydney, is the favourite. Ready to run. Queenslander Freedom Rally has been best back to beat her. The gates clang back now and they're off and racing, and Felix Majestic jumped sharply together with the import Royal Patronage, who's showing great early speed to head off Felix Majestic. Freedom Rally handy, and fearsome strides forward on the outside of Kintyre. Amelia's Jewel pretty handily positioned early, followed by My Oberon darting up the fence, getting underneath Kovalika. Then came Old Flame. Back in the field is Nugget from Arctic Glamour, getting across, 1 off, 2 further back to Stockman on the outside of Lock Eagle, and Democracy Manifest sees them all. Fearsome goes on with it at the 800 metres, is really rattling the cage of Felix Majestic. Felix won't hand up the lead though. Felix Majestic ahead on Fearsome, but they've gone along hard. 3 lengths away to Royal Patronage, followed by Freedom Rally, half the outside to Kintyre. Then came My Oberon from Amelia's Jewel. They're in the red cap. Right behind is Nugget from Kovalika, and Old Flame heads the rest as they turn into the straight. Felix Majestic and Fearsome, the 2 speedsters have been at it. Royal Patronage closing in, Kintyre running on, then Freedom Rally, Amelia's Jewel and Kovalika running home stoutly on the outside. Felix Majestic being tackled by Royal Patronage, and Royal Patronage got to the front, kicked away there from Felix Majestic. Amelia's Jewel's knuckling down late, but it's too late. Drawing clear here, Royal Patronage. What a great Australian debut. A length to Amelia's Jewel, then Kovalika, followed by Freedom Rally, Kintyre, Felix Majestic. Further back to Arctic Glamour from Nugget, My Oberon, Lock Eagle next from Stockman, Democracy Manifest and Old Flame.
It is the American Royal Patronage who has won first up in Australia. Let's have a look at its form. The Saratoga Derby, the Virginia Derby at Colonial Downs, Keeneland, Churchill Downs, last run at Laurel Park, and arrives in Australia. They paid a bit of money for it, well over $500,000. And here on its Australian debut, a 6-year-old Entire by Wootton Bassett has held off a very brave Amelia's Jewel. Ronnie, she hit the line and she came with her run alongside Kovalika, who's going to run third.
Yeah, look, good debut in Australia. The first uppers there, it's all of them, the 3 of them, but the Royal Patronage just had the beautiful sit behind the 2, getting at each other the whole way there. Felix Majestic, who can't take a trick lately of horses putting pressure on him, and Fearsome. And yeah, look, she was beaten but not disgraced out in the middle there. Both of those second and third horses. Amelia's Jewel, she'll come on from that. And Kovalika, one of these, a good run from him, a little specking late, and he's come home nicely there as well. But good effort, first run in Australia. There might be more to come from him.
Yeah, I think the race was set up really, really well for Royal Patronage, and Timmy Clark, he obviously just stalked the speed and just allowed them to do the work up front. But I was really surprised one of these horses turn of foot. Normally those American horses, they go at a good speed the whole way and they haven't got a great turn of foot, but he seems to have a good turn of foot, so he'll suit Australian racing.
Well, this is a very, very quick track today. They've almost got to Trapeze Artist track record here. They've run 1:20.41. Well done, Adrian. Obviously, they paid a bit of money for Royal Patronage, but how confident did you come to the races today?
Look, we're real confident with what we'd seen from him at home. He worked up quite sharply during the week, which was encouraging going to today. But, you know, in fairness, Europeans having their first start in Australia and traditionally shown form over further. And, yeah, just the conditions today, we'll just a bit open-minded whether he may find the 1400 metres a bit too sharp for him. But the way the race panned out was excellent. There was good pressure on from the outset. When he really put himself in the race from the gates, he was very confident from that point, and Tim allowed him to find a nice rhythm, and he was full of running at the top of the straight.
One thing about that American form is they run on fast tracks in America, very, very firm decks. He loved it out there today.
Yeah, he did, and I guess that was sort of one thing in the back of the mind that with the conditions it may well suit. It was just the distance, but he's a quality horse. You know, he's put in an excellent performance today, and I'm sure there's still plenty of improvement to come.
You've won a tramway. He's in the Epsom horse.
It could well be. Tim and I were discussing that, you know, off the back of his last trial. We thought that might be a really nice sort of race to target, but at the back of our mind, we thought could be some targets over further, so we wanted to see what we got today, and I think that could definitely be on the cards off the back of today's run.
Well done.
Thanks very much.
Congratulations, Timmy. Good effort, first time in Australia.
Yeah, like first up from a long spell, it's pretty good effort from him. Although he had a prep early in the year in Melbourne, yeah, he's come back in and he's just been going so well at home, working fantastic. Trials were good, and when he was able to, you know, bounce and adjust to that 7 furlong speed so comfortably. If anything, raced a bit keen early. I was, because that was probably the unknown, how he was going to react to a fast run 7. But travelled sweetly, and yeah, he was really tough to line.
Did you feel like he had good improvement in him?
Yeah, he'll continue to improve, and you know, like, you know, how far he gets, you know, even in distance, you know, he's still a bit of an unknown as well. I think he's got plenty of options going forward anyway. I'm sure Gay's got the calendar out looking through them.
Well done, mate.
Thanks.
By Tim Clark. Outstanding performance. Fast times have been the order of the day. Buckaroo clung on to win the Chelmsford Stakes, and the light is on now for the last. Stand by for action. We're ready to go now in the last here at Royal Randwick. The gates are back and they're off and racing. Altoff was last out of the gate. Flying Destiny's jumped okay, mustering. On the outside of Isaiah, Poker Jack and Well Timed is there, but Nash will go back now as Thunderlift pushes forward. Iron Man in the middle of the ruck, followed by Congregation the Rail. So Well Timed will be caught 3 wide. Back in the field, Panic in advance there of Altoff, Hollywood Hero. World Alliance being snagged back to park on the outside of her now. So it's Isaiah the front runner narrowly from Flying Destiny, and rolling on the outside is Poker Jack. Camp behind them Thunderlips, then Congregation reined up on the inside of Well Timed. Further back to Iron Man Altoff, then came Panic from her now Hollywood Hero, and World Alliance sees them all. Rounding the corner in the last, Isaiah just the leader from Poker Jack, 3 out on the outside of Flying Destiny. Thunderlips going after the leaders, Well Timed the outside, then Congregation. Iron Man heads the rest. Isaiah at the 250 showing a great kick here. Isaiah 2 lengths clear from Flying Destiny. Nothing a chance. Isaiah's off and gone here. And Isaiah's going to scamper away with a big win in the last, beating Flying Destiny. And third, Well Timed. Well Timed just in front of Thunderlips and Hollywood Hero. Then Congregation, and now Altoff, Iron Man. Further back, Poker Jack, World Alliance, Panic. Panic was last in.
Isaiah, number 10, has won the last. Broken 1-9 again. The Newcastle trainer, Scotty Asprey, Molly Burke in the saddle. She'll come back with a big smile on her face. What price, Uzziah? He'll pay $29.40 and $6.80. Another class record, 1:8.73, which is better than Crystal Breeze's 1:09.09. Home in 33.39. The quick track played into the hands of Uzziah. 1:8.73, the overall time, 33.39. Numbers are going up, Ronnie. 10, 3, 13.
Well, once he found the front of his strength, he's a horse that's won up to a mile. Once he was right up on top of the speed and found the fence, he wasn't a 33-1 chance, that's for sure. He was going to be very strong from up on the speed, and that's exactly how it turned out there. So he was too good for the other on-pace runner, Flying Destiny, and look, he did a really good job there, well timed up in class. Coming to the outside, Thunderlip seemed to have his chance. He might just want 1,400 now, but geez, it's hard to take anything away from the winner. He was just in a race of his own out there in front.
Let me get Scotty Ashby because he's strapping, and I want him to welcome a winner back here at Randwick. Well done.
Thanks, Greg.
What do you call him?
Colt. Colt.
Colt.
Yeah.
He looked pretty strong today.
Oh, that was enormous.
Yeah. Just kept running.
Yeah. We thought he'd be sharp off those 2 trials. We really made purpose of those 2 trials to have him ready for today. And he just jumped and Molly controlled it, and that was fantastic.
You reckon he loved that real firm deck out there today?
He's got a much better turn of foot on top of the ground.
Yep.
He's very one-paced on the wet conditions, although he still tries hard on the wet. But no, that was fantastic.
Well, I think you and the owners, they deserve a good win with this horse because he has been good to you.
He's only going to improve too off that.
Great.
Thanks, Greg.
Cheers. Scotty Ashby coming back, and there's that smile. Molly's smiling. She's been smiling since they crossed the line. Number 10, Uzziah, the winner. She's going well, Corey, this young lass.
She's doing well. She deserves more opportunities. It's this time of year, obviously the kids don't get a great go, but it's the winter months and later on after the spring carnival. But it's good to see her get a winner on a big day.
So Molly will go back over the scales and Corey will have a chat to her, and that'll wrap up the proceedings here at Randwick today. I Am Me winning the Concord, Buckaroo winning the Chelmsford, Royal Patronage winning a Tramway, an American import who was so very good today, and the Furious going to Manal. She was back on top today. Here's Molly Burke.
Well done, Molly. That was a tough win.
Yeah, it sure was. Look, I trialled him the other day and I thought he felt really nice underneath me, and look, he's pulled up well from the trial at Newcastle on Tuesday, and he's come out here and absolutely blitzed it.
It wasn't a gimme neither, because they sort of soften you up mid-race.
Yeah, it wasn't at all, and look, it probably wasn't the plan to lead, but he jumped and got there so easily, and he just felt super under me and had plenty to give.
Well done.
Well, thank you.